Okay, so that lists us as having the stream started. Now, if I go to the stream summary, nope, the stream manager page, does it say I am streaming? Yes, it does. Yay. Okay, hi. Hi, how are you? Why is it just my face? There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Why is this all the way over here? Come here. Come here. Microphone. Her. I think I'm going to change the, not the bit rate, but what's the word for it? Is it the bit rate? I forget. Oh, no, latency rate, because I want to be able to say a thing here and have you people respond and then have myself do a thing here. And I don't know what I'm saying. My brain. I just exercised. I work on a standing desk. I don't know why I did like exercises. Ugh. It's all right. I'm still upright. I am standing. I am proud. We're good. We're alive. Get started. So, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? So, I play tested over the weekend and came to a conclusion that the end of the game is too difficult. So, I'm going to do a couple of things to try and make it a little bit easier. To start, let's go to our prefabs and go to our ammo refill, and we're going to change these settings so that instead of giving you 20 ammo, it gives you 30. And the ammo respawn time, we're going to set to 60. So that's going to make that a little bit easier. Let's see, what else? It's very easy for the player to get completely swamped by enemies. So I'd like to make a quick change to that to just make it so that the player doesn't get swamped. Yeah, that's a goal. That's a reasonable goal, right? The player not get absolutely eviscerated. So near the end of the game, a new enemy spawns every second. The ammo refills will respawn slightly faster than that. Or no, they won't. They'll still spawn after 60 seconds. But I have it set up now so that they respawn fast enough that you will have a steady supply of ammo. So what I want to do now is come up with some way for the player to survive getting completely swarmed. Because if we look at it right now, like, okay, we have our little space. Fire a bullet. Once I get rid of all of the monoliths, this just becomes absolutely untenable. Like, outright. Oh, hey, bullets. There we go. We have some. I think we just go straight down. Oh, shit. Okay, that one's destroyed, so now we're down to 5. Did that one respawn yet? Yes, it did. Okay. Let's take out this one. There's 4 left. Oh, right, the one in the corner here. But yeah, see, they're slightly more common now. And it's going to eventually get to the point where it's just kind of untenable. There's so many. It just gets to the point where you kind of get swarmed. So there's gonna be one up here, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of enemies popping around the corner here. Now we're going to get to the point where okay, so now there's one left, so now there's going to spawn one per second. Now I'm just going to skip that one. See, now it very quickly gets to the point where we're just kind of swarmed. I have no bullets left. I'm dead. Okay, so what I want to do is I want a pushback ability where I push a button and all of the enemies get forced backwards, like 10 feet-ish. I don't believe... Let's see. Let's take a quick look at the enemy. Yeah, they have a capsule collider, a nav mesh agent, and that's it. So what I think I want to do is I'm going to create a new script that I'm going to attach to the enemy that waits for an event. And when it gets the event, it's going to... Hold on, we're going to add a rigid body. Can I not turn off the rigid body? All right, we're going to freeze rotation and freeze position. Does that... Can I turn off the rigid body? That's going to be question number one. Can I turn off the rigid body? So... Think about this for a second. What are we going to call this script? We're going to call this enemy knockback. Actually, knockback is one word, so lowercase b. Create and add. So the plan is we're going to deactivate the rigid body and just have them move via the nav mesh agent. Then we're going to deactivate when we do the knockback. We're going to deactivate the nav mesh agent, activate the rigid body, add a force to them to throw them back, and then 1 second later, turn off the rigid body, turn on the nav mesh agent. So basically, they're going to be moving based on the AI, then they're going to move based on physics, then 1 second later, they're going to move back based on the AI. That's the plan. I don't know if it's going to work because I don't know if we can turn off the rigid body. I have not done this before. Most of the games that I've worked on, my focus has been on how the AI works, how it does decision making, using state machines, behavior trees, machine learning, things like that. I have not done enough with the engine itself, so this will be a educational piece. Oh, okay, so maybe it does require a... Does that fix it? Yeah, that fixes it. Okay. So what I need is the rigid body. We're going to get a rigid body RB. And on awake, we will get our reference to it. And our nav mesh agents. That requires a reference. And then here. Okay, so I'm going to do this just in the start function. The nav mesh agent, I know how that's going to work. Nav mesh agent dot not set active enabled. So we disable that. Let's see what's available here. So constraints, interpolation, detect collisions. Can I set density? Okay, so it looks like there isn't anything for it. Sleep? Forces a rigid body to sleep until woken up. Okay, is there a RB dot... Okay, so that might be what we need to do. So maybe here, once we get the RB... Hold on, let's actually look up Unity rigid body. Let's look up the documentation for it. Oh my god, it actually found it. So I have a search engine that I like to use called Ecosia. It's one of those ones where they take the profits from the search engine and use it to plant trees, which I like. The problem is, it is not a good search engine at all. It gets wrong answers a lot compared to what Bing or Google or other options will get. But I still try to use it. I use it first, and then if I can't get the answer, then I'll use Google or Bing. Okay, so I need sleep. It's a public method. Forces a rigid body to sleep until woken up. A rigid body can be put to sleep only if it is not in contact with an awake rigid body. And if it does not come in contact with any rigid body during the next simulation step. A common use is to call this from awake in order to make a rigid body sleep at startup. Okay. But what does sleep mean? It doesn't specify that. Let's see if we can find it. In the script, fixed update function is recommended as the place to apply forces and change rigid body settings as opposed to update. The reason for this is that physics updates are carried out in measured time steps that don't coincide with frame update. Fixed update. A common problem with starting out with rigid bodies is that the game physics appears to run in slow motion. This is actually due to the scale used for your models. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. Unity rigid body enable disable. How old is this? 2010. This is 14 years old. Rigid body dot detection collisions equals false. Okay, so maybe if we just set it kinematic. We're going to try this first. And if it doesn't work, we will try something else. So I need a player ability. We're going to call this... Oh, we're not going to make that a class. Just a regular class. We'll do a straight up mono behavior. I got to learn to stop saying filler words. Okay, so those kind of words. I'm trying to recognize when I say it so that I can fix myself before I, mess it up, but, you know, I think that was a filler word too. Okay, so player. Okay, so. Okay, so. Okay, so. Player knockback activator. Let's see. Let's see is another one. I gotta start not saying let's see. It's hard to come up with things to say when most of the things you say are filler. Serialize field, private, input action. Player action is too generic. Knockback input. We'll call it that. On enable, we're going to enable knockback input. And how do these work? I forget exactly. We're going to attach this to the player and toy with it a bit. Player knockback activator. We're going to add a binding. And this is going to be, I'm going to say F. Yeah, I'm between the F key and the right mouse button, but I think I'm going to possibly have the right mouse button let you like look around corners. So yeah, keyboard. Character mapped to key. F. Okay, very good. Updates. If knockback input dot is pressed. I'm going to take a quick look at one of my other. Yeah, we'll take a look at fire bullets. Okay, was performed this frame. That's what we're looking for. And we're going to create an action that runs based on that. So public static event action on player knockback. We're going to invoke that here. Okay, so we're going to invoke the event, and the event is going to run this. So player knockback activator on player knockback, and we are going to create a new method to add to this, and we're going to call this new method knockback. I am so clever. So we're create that as a method, and then remove it when we disable, so that way it's not calling it on something that's already dead. Okay, so on knockback, we're going to disable. Actually, we're going to make a coroutine out of this. Knockback sequence. Sure. So we're going to set that to false. Is kinematic equals false. Then we're going to wait. Return new. Wait for 0.5 seconds. And then we're going to take these and reset them to true. I might want to reset this to 1F. You know what? We're going to make that a public value. Private float. Okay, we're going to have a knockback force. Okay, so we're going to have a couple values here. Float. So when we knock back a zombie, enemy, whatever we're going to call it, I'm going to say zombie. It's going to hit it with 100 points of force, whatever that happens to mean. We're probably going to change that to something a bit less. And the zombie is going to deactivate the AI and activate its physics so that it can fly back. Then, after it flies back, it's going to turn the AI back on after half a second and turn off the is kinematic equals true. Okay. So there's going to be more to this than this here, because we are also, so we deactivate it. We activate so we turn off the nav mesh agent, make the rigid body no longer kinematic, and then we're going to add a force. RB dot add force. We're going to, instead of forward, we're going to make this okay, forward, right, up. Do they not do left? There is no left. Okay, so negative forward. So they're forced backwards with this amount of force. That should do it. So we're going to start our coroutine. Knockback sequence. And what else do I want to do? Oh, on disable. Yeah, stop the coroutine. Just so that is so if the coroutine is running and I end up like shooting the character during this wait for seconds delay, which I need to set to my knockback delay time. And I'm also going to need a timer to make it so we can't just run it at infinite times, but we'll do that afterwards. Get artifact calls not allowed when transient artifacts are getting updated. What does that mean? I'm sure that's going to go away once we... I hate the fact that my cough is still here. I had a cold 2 weeks ago. Why am I still coughing? Okay, so this is attached to F. Okay, so it deactivates them for a split second. Set destination can only be called on an active agent that has been placed on the nav mesh. Okay, so if agents dot enabled equals, so if the agent is not enabled, return. I could also set this up so that instead of setting the destination every single frame, we set it like, you know, once every 10 frames, something like that. But it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so is that the only error that we got? Yeah, it is. Okay, reload your domain. Do your thing. Unity. And, oh, what was the other thing? Enemies. The rigid body. Yeah, we're not going to freeze position anymore. So this should cause the knockback. Let's see how strong this is. Let's do it. Oh, did I just... Okay. 100, way too strong. Way too strong. Way, way, way too strong. We're going to set this to like... hold on. Movement. Player knockback activation. Oh, we should attach that to the player instead of the enemy. Okay, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. Okay, player knockback activator. Serialized field, private float, knockback force, and serialized field private knockback duration equals 0.5 equals 10. We'll set it to 10 to start. I believe I can just... Can I set values here? I thought I could. Okay, so I don't think I can do that there. Is it here? Okay, yes, so... knockback force, knockback duration. Oh, these are both ints. Let's kill caps lock, please. And of course, all of these... knockback is apparently not a single word. It is 2 words. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. Okay. We're going to get rid of these 2. Because we're setting that on the player. Because the player is the thing doing the knockback. And knockback delay time is also a... I am way too... So, I make... I have been working on a multiplayer game, and because ints are smaller than floats, you tend to want to use them to transfer data from the client, server, and back. So I am very used to putting ints in places where there should be floats. Okay, so knockback. Why would you need values when you're... Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, so... Okay. Damn it. Need to stop saying those words. When the player presses the knockback input button, which is F, it should knock the character back with this amount of force for this amount of time and then reactivate them. Does it work? F. F. F, damn you. F. Damned it. Okay, so what is going on here? What is messing us up? Is 10 just not nearly enough? Let's try 50. You know what? You know what it also needs? It needs an upward component. We're going to add force. Up times knockback force. But we're going to have... Yeah, we'll see how this works, how this looks and feels. Wait, they weren't turning off at all, though, so... Yeah, so there's an activation issue here. Where, though? That's the question. You know what? We're just going to set those to 10 and 0.5. Okay, so player knockback activator. We have our knockback force and duration. So that gets added in at 0.5. Then we start our coroutine with these values that we implement. What the heck? So does knockback actually get called? And after that, started knockback. Okay, what else? Quick look at the player. Wait a minute. That reset knockback input? Okay, we're going to add a binding, path, keyboard, by character, so that people in... Okay, yep. That is on. That may have been the entire issue, so I may have just fixed it. And they just got launched into the stratosphere. Okay, so 50 is a little strong. We're going to try 10. Okay, that's upward force is too much. Enemy knockback. We're going to multiply this by 0.1f. First, we're going to reorder that multiplication so we're not multiplying against a vector 3 twice in a row. And then we're going to add a ratio upward force. And we're going to set that to 0.1 to start. And we're going to put that there. Ratio upward force. That's just so I can edit it in the inspector. Hit play. That's not bad. All right, let's try doing it now. No errors, so... Reload. I keep forgetting that there's one. All right, 6 bullets left. Got to get a new one. Got to get more. There we go. There's going to be some coming out from over here. Because of course there is going to be. Down to 2. Where are they? Where are those 2? I got the one in this corner. Oh, shit. Oh, you came from over here. I completely forgot that this portion was here. Which I guess is the point. It's nice having some secret passages sitting around. We got ammo. Yay! What am I missing? Oh god, I never got that one. I win! Yay! Okay, cool. So that makes it... The knockback makes it a lot easier. I think it makes it too easy. So, yeah. We're going to add something to fix that up a little bit. Yeah, first let's just... ban that comment. We do not need comments from anyone trying to sell things. I'm all set. I would rather just have no viewers than fake viewers. So, bye-bye. Now I need to add a timer to this. And I also want a key. So we're going to add something to the canvas. Yeah, let's go on the canvas. I think this would be under bullets. Yeah. So we're going to take the health bar and we're going to put that to 0.333. I mean, I meant to say 6666. Any additional 6s is pointless, so set that to 0. Three. No, that's still gonna be 0.5. Whoops. Off on me. Bullets is gonna be 0.333 to 0.666. 0, and bullets 0.333, 0.666. And then we're going to add a new one. UI text. And this is going to be pushback. Texts. And then we're going to also going to have a we'll do maybe a panel, not a button. I don't want to do a button. I don't want to do something that the player can click. Yeah, we'll do a little panel, and we're going to call that pushback image. Add a little bit of margins on the, I think, the right. Let's see. These all set standard. Yeah, 15.6. 15.6. Get them all to the same size. And then I want this text to be under bullets. So that's going to be x of 0 to 0.5. And then the height is going to be 0 to 0.333, so that it's below there. Oh, I don't like how that looks at all. Oh, that's not good. That is, here, if I get rid of that, and if I get rid of the, okay, better. And then the pushback image is going to have a Text Mesh Pro in it. We're just going to set that color to like a dark grayish. It's going to be an F. That one will set to auto size. Between 0 and 1,000, so it's whatever size it needs to be. And that is going to be 0, 1, 0, 1. Then we'll center it. Okay, now that image itself, I don't know if I want to have that be a stretch image. I might want that to be a, like a, what's the word that I'm thinking of? I want it to be a box, right? Let's just set that. Width is going to be 50. Height is going to be 50. 30 and 30? A little better. Just drag that down a bit. Put that over that way. Now I know there is a way to have a cooldown appear on it. That's going to be something I might need. I don't know if I'm going to have to do a tutorial on that or what, but we have a display here showing that pushback is the F key. And I need a cooldown for it. So first, let's set up the cooldown in the knockback. Player knockback activator. Yeah, we'll have a timer. Timer equals, yeah, started at 0. If the timer was performed this frame, then timer equals 0 again. Now, if the timer is less than, yeah, we'll just set another force multiplier. No. Knockback cooldown. We're going to set the cooldown to 3 seconds as default, and if I need to change it later, I can. Okay, so timer, we're just going to add delta time to that. If the timer is less than the knockback cooldown, return. So now you can only do a knockback every 3 seconds. I think. Yeah, if timer is less than the knockback cooldown, then we return, and this just adds it and resets it to 0. Okay, so that will work. It just keeps raising timer every frame, but adding a float to another float is really not an expensive operation, so I'm not going to care. I can get rid of that 0 set. All right, let's test this out. So it should only happen if I press it twice. Okay, that happened once. 1, 2, 3. Cool, it pushes them back. 1, 2, 3. And I don't have it pushing them away from me just because I don't want to have to do the math to find out exactly what direction they're supposed to be facing. So I just have it set up so that it pushes them whatever direction they happen to be facing at the time. It pushes them the opposite way of that. So, yeah. Okay, so that works. I have seen... Oh, what is the word for it? Like the little cooldown clock thing that spins around. Little cooldown timer. The visual for it. I've done it before, but that was a while ago, and I don't remember most of what I did. We're going to set these to whole numbers because that is annoying as hell. Looking at that. Okay, so. Okay, so. I love queso. I hate okay, so, because it's just filler words, and I say them all the time, and I'm trying to get better at that, but I think there is... God, what was it? I might need to open up another project just to look at it. Let me see. I did a... Let's see. Which one was it? It wasn't the prototype for the big one. Oh, I think it was it was a tutorial. That might be why I don't remember it. Yeah, we're just going to open with the installed version. That's okay. Change the version. Uh-huh. Yep, I know. I finished that tutorial a while ago, so I don't care if it doesn't work or not. I just need to see what that looks like. Yeah, I often go back and cannibalize older projects that I worked on just to... If there's something that I don't remember exactly how to do. Go away. All right, it's loading. It's loading. It's doing its thing. It's coming to life! I'm sure it will eventually. I know it will. It will. I've seen it. I've seen it come to life. Now it's at half load. And my computer is screaming at me right now because I'm trying to load a Unity project at the same time as... Okay, it's still loading in the background, so I'm just going to fiddle around here for a minute. I should come up with a name for this, because right now the name is, let's see, player, default company, Mark Aldrich, version, yep, that's fine. First Steam test throwout. That is not a great name for a game. We're going to go with the scary shooter thing. That works for now. It's more descriptive. Let's see. We're not going to have it run in the background. Full screen mode is going to be a full screen. Oh, no. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so this was a free aspect. No resolution aspect ratio. This was a tutorial for learning how to make a dots game using Unity ECS with multiplayer, and which is something that I desperately wanted to learn how to do. So, yeah, multiple ADB server instances found. Yeah, this was done through... I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the person that did this tutorial. Turbo Makes Games. That's the one. So in the, let's see, scenes, MOBA scene. Yeah, see how we have the Q and W here with the, I want to copy that. This was a very basic tutorial, but in-game HUD. Okay. So the cooldown mask was an image. Image type sliced. Image type filled radial 360. Okay. I can do that. So on top of the pushback image, we're going to add another UI image. We're just going to have that cover the whole thing. We're going to have this be the, I think it's background. Yeah, that covers the whole thing. Let's just zoom in on this one spot so that we get a clear view of it. This is going to be black, but partially transparent so that you can still see it. Just sort of get that traditional cooldown system. Image is going to be filled. Radial 360. Fill origin is the bottom. Look at that. Look at that. You got a little timer right there. Oh, I cannot believe that that was so simple. I figured I was going to have to do some sort of shader stuff, but yeah, no, okay. I'm not a huge fan of... There we go. Okay, we're just going to have that fill completely. No sprite. Oh, you need something there, huh? Filled. Okay, so yeah, have it unload that way. All right, I am going to... Oh, shit, I hit a button. I hit a button. One, 0, 0. There we go. Okay. Set native size is not a good button. We want this to be like a timer, and timers usually start at the top. And we want this to start like that and then go like that way to unload. Clockwise. Do stopwatches go backwards? I'm trying to think, because I don't have a timer down here, but I'm trying to think of like one of those little timers, you know, the little white one with the dial on it where you twist it and then you let it go and it goes on for like an hour going tick, 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 and then there's a loud grrr when it buzzes. That's not what the sound makes, but I think you get the idea. I think you turn it that way. That way. And it goes like that. Yeah, you turn it counterclockwise and it rotates clockwise. So, but we don't want this to fill. We want it to empty. So we want it to start here and go like that to empty. Okay. So I'm going to need to access this on the player. Player knockback activator. Private image. Cooldown image. And let's see if we can just pull the reference straight from... Okay, we're going to lock that. Oh, nope, hold on. We're going to wait. We're good? We're good. Now this image, is this the correct one? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to rename that to the cooldown image. Go to player. Find the cooldown. We're going to drag down that cooldown image. All right. So what I need to do is I need to set the cooldown image. What's the word for it? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I got it. I got it. Fill amount. Okay. Image dot fill amount equals timer divided by knockback cooldown. Let's see how that looks. I might need to clamp the value of the timer to that, so we'll see. Hold on. Let's just... hold on. Okay. I don't want it to fill in like that, though. That's not how I want it to operate. I want it to go the other way. So I think what we need to do is 1 minus timer divided by cooldown. we go. And after that, I need a sound effect. Need bullets. Destroyed another one. I already know my way around this place, so not too difficult. I think we go up here. Yeah, once you know where everything is, it kind of becomes, oh, hello. Trivial. Oh, God. All right, now's the part where it becomes a little bit more difficult. I want to get those bullets, though, so. Now we just need to go south. Just get those out of my way. Oh, I already got that one? What? Then where's the other one? All right, there's one here. There's one left. Where is that one left? I got the one that was right in front of me. I got the one in this corner, right? Yeah, I got that one. Let's get the ammo. So what am I missing? I got the one in the top corner. I got the one in the... Did I not get the one in the bottom corner? No, I got that one. What direction are they coming from? Yeah, I need a sound effect to get added to that. But I feel like I'm doing a much better job at surviving than I was before. Oh shit, there's nothing there. So... let me think. Where have I missed one? Not there. Here? I got that one. I got the one that was in that corner down there. I shouldn't have gotten that. Oh, shit. Oh shit, no bullets left. Ah, crud. I may have effed myself in the A. I may have just been effed in the A. Ah, crud. Ah, crap. Oh, is it in the corner there? Is it in that little spot? Is it this one? Nope, not that one. Is it in the back corner here? Oh, bullets. Yeah, launch you all back. Did I miss this one? No, I did not miss that one. Okay. Where the heck are these freaking zombies coming from? Oh, crap. I gotta back up. I can't get through there. Shit. No bullets. I am almost dead. We're basically done with this. Let's try going through here. Oh, shit. Big guy. I died. God damn it, I walked straight into them. Okay. I'm going to stop that for now. Hold on. Wait, how many monoliths did that say there were? Hold on. Hold the phone. 9. Okay. 9. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. I see what went wrong, I think. So I have a static value that the enemy spawners add themselves to. And I set that. Hold on. Let's take a. You are no longer necessary. Go away. Neither are you. Go away. Neither are. Oh, no. I need OBS. Okay. Spawner health. These are the monoliths. Yeah, so we have a static int. They add themselves to it on awake and remove themselves from it when they're destroyed. The problem is, when I reset the scene, that static int stays. So what I need to do is add them to the number of spawners on start, but on awake, because the number of spawners is set at the beginning of the level, so I don't need to update it as the game goes on. I just need to I don't need to add to it as the game goes on. I just need to remove from it. So I need to set it to 0 in awake. So now when the game starts, all of the characters are going to, or all of the spawners are going to spawn in. The number of spawners is going to be set to 0. And then directly afterwards, during the first frame of the game, each one is going to add itself to it. So now we're not going to get that weird addition error that was going on with this static value here. Okay, that fixes that. So we have, let's see, we have a pushback that has a timer on it. Oh, right, no, sound effect. I finally fixed my free sound account, so I have that now. I have that over here under Game Resources, Free Sound. I'm also slowly, very slowly learning how to implement animations so that we can get some humanoid zombies that kind of shuffle toward the player going on. Let's see. Find any sound you like. What kind of sound do we want? We want kind of a whoosh noise. Like a whoosh. That's a whoosh. That is not the kind of whoosh we want. That's not a whoosh. I'm looking for like a... Actually, I wonder if I could just take a piece of paper and just record myself doing this. the top a little bit. Okay, hold on. I think when I first got my account to correctly activate, we're going to search for, just click on sounds so that it resets the search eventually. I know it will. I know it can. I know it's capable. There we go. It did it. I knew it could. Had all kinds of doubt. Okay, most downloads first, because I'm pretty sure there was a good whoosh sound in this library in like the most popular. Look at that, the single top one. Okay, it's not as good as I thought it was, but you know what? It is good enough. Oh, I don't want to see who downloaded it. I want to download it. How do I... Okay, click on it. Download the sound. We're just going to toss that in our game. Stick that over there, because I don't know if I have anything embarrassing involved there. Let's see. Where is our game? That is our game. Minimize. 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 Audio. There we go. We now have a whoosh sound. I actually think I have another whoosh sound somewhere else. Yes, I do. In Chip Off the Old Stumbling Block, the only game I have ever released on Steam. It was a mistake to do so. It was a waste of $100, but I still had fun making the game, and I learned how to upload games to Steam, so that's a valuable skill. But, yes, that had a whoosh sound. So if you went by something and didn't hit it, I had like 2 colliders that were on the side of the character, and when you went by a thing, it would like have like a little whoosh sound as you went past it. Didn't sound like this one. Actually, can I find that one? Hold on. Let's see, video. I think I had it under videos, stock. Do I have a sound effects folder here? No, it's not in stock. It's in music, sound effects, boing, bonk, bram, buzzer, sensor, beep, ding, distorted bram, dramatic riser, low impacts, punching box, sword hit, the sound of dial-up, tinnitus, whoosh. I have 2 whooshes. That is the exact same whoosh. So, okay, so I already had that. This one. That's a better whoosh. I like that whoosh a little bit more. So we're going to get rid of the whoosh that I just spent 10 minutes looking for, and we're going to get the flutter whoosh. All right, so we have our flutter whoosh. Now we just need to add it to the character. Does the player... Yeah, the player already has an audio source. Yeah, that's for the gunshot. Yeah, so we'll just add this to the playback. CS field. Actually, no, this is going to be... no, wait, no, we need to do serialized field. My bad. Audio clip. Pushback sound. And then I need a private reference to the audio source. Require an audio source so that we get an error if we put this on something that doesn't have it. Not really necessary, but I like to add it in. And then on awake, we will get our audio source. Okay, and then we invoke our knockback. I think I'm going to start playing the whoosh sound before... Hold on, I need to check that whoosh sound, actually, to see when the whoosh actually happens. Because if there is a delay... Okay, it looks like there's a little bit of a delay. It's 0.8 seconds, so it should be fine, but... Yeah, like, okay, so sound effects, there's usually two ways that you will have a sound effect in a video game. The first way is there's sort of a rise and fall, so it's like a... But then there's the kind that you tend to have for an action, where when the action occurs, there's like, instead of that rise and fall, it just starts at the top and then drops. Like, you want that for like a gunshot or a sword swing, because you want the sound to happen. You want the sound to start in the same frame as when the action occurs. I don't think it's going to be an issue with this one because it's only 0.8 seconds. But we might notice it as an issue, and I might need to switch back to the other whoosh. So, audio source dot play one shot pushback sound, but also audio source dot pitch. We're gonna get a random pitch so that it sounds good. Think that's it. I believe that's all there is. I also need to attach a reference to the whoosh sounds to the player. So do I want to add a visual to this too? I think I might want a visual element, like a little psh coming out. There was something else I wanted to add some impact to it. And after that, then I'm going to work on uploading it to itch. And getting a build, testing it out quick, and getting it up on itch. Okay, so we have that. Yeah, that's not going to work. See how I have this guy chasing me, and when I hit F, you'll notice that he starts flying back, and then there's a slight delay between him flying back and the sound effect starting. Okay, the whoosh sound. Hold on. Where is my whoosh? Let's take a look at this whoosh sound. Okay, yeah, see how the... Let's compare these. So you see how the whoosh is starting very, very early in this, and this one, it starts a little later. So I could probably take this in Audacity and just chop off the first quarter of a second, but nah, I won't. Player. Whoosh 6316. Save that. Destroy one of you. A little better. It's also a bit louder. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough. Good enough. I'm gonna die. For me. Oh. What was the other bit I wanted to do? I wanted to make the bullets move faster. That's the first thing. Because I'm not a fan of them going like 1/10 of a mile an hour. I don't think I wanted to add any light source to them. No, we're good with that. So we have our bullet. Why is that? Oh, yeah, it's big because I was showing the sound earlier. Bullet force, we're going to set that to 20 instead of 10. Save that. Close all that stuff. Let's test it out. See how 20 feels. Much faster bullet. Okay. And I also want to add on the player, on the fire bullet, I want a little bit of pushback. So that, like, when you fire the bullet, it pushes the player back just an inch. Just enough so that it feels like the gun has a bit of oomph to it. Because it sounds like it has oomph to it. It's a good bang, bang, bang noise. But it doesn't feel good. Private float. I don't want to have any kind of timer between bullets. You should be able to fire them as fast as you want. But, yeah. Yeah. Okay, private float. Instead of time between bullets, what do we want? We want blast backwards. That's a terrible name. That is a terrible name for an asset. Why are we calling blast backwards force? I mean, it's descriptive. It gets the point across that we are forcing the player backwards, but how about, okay, recoil force. That's better. We're going to set that to 1 to start. And I need a private. I need my rigid body so I can add force to something. Do we already have the awake method? Yes, we do. Okay, we can just add our collection of the rigid body. And then oh, we have a update bullet. Oh, right. Yep. Nope, that happens. Okay, so when we fire, RB dot, we're going to add an impulse force. Transform dot forward minus transform forward, and we're going to do it with the recoil force. I don't know if this is going to cause us to lurch back. See, the thing is, we're not moving our player with force. We're just using a set velocity, I think. Yeah, that does nothing. Recoil force to 10. Yeah, pushes the player back a little bit. We're going to set that to 20. Out of curiosity's sake, can we use this to move around? Would that be a good game? Okay, yeah, gun's got a bit of oomph to it now. Ooh, that feels good now. Yeah, I like that. Oh, shit. Are they about to come around this corner? Oh, shit. Push everybody back a little bit. Did that cause a frame dip? Yes, it did. It caused a skip frame. Okay, 20 might be a little high. I'm noticing like a weird bit of jitter from it. Let's try 15. Yeah, that's good. All right, that's done. Last thing I want to add, the final piece, before I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm ready to go and move on to something else. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna make it so that when you hold down the right mouse button, we're gonna set the target. Instead of setting it to the player, we're going to set it to a point ahead of the player, so that way, if you hold down the right mouse button, it like looks in the direction that you're going to be firing. Yeah. So we're going to go on the player, and we're going to add an empty object that we're going to call camera target. Now, does player have anything related to Cinemachine on it? No, I think it's a Cinemachine camera. All right, we're going to change that to from the player to the camera target, so that now instead of the camera following the player, it's following an object on the player. Yeah. No change because the object is just, attached to the player. Yeah, that's good. Follow. No noise. I don't think there's anything else I need to add to that. Yeah, so now I just need to set it up so that I'm just going to create another script. May as well. So this time we're going to have if the player... Oh, thank you for the follower, chess guy. Yeah, follow. Thank you for the follow, chess guy. I saw the BR at the end of the name, and I was like, my brain. So, yeah, let's call this... I don't want to call it zoom. What's the word for it when you're looking down the sights of your weapon in a video game? Like, I think it is usually called zoom, but I don't want to call it that. Player focus. Focus camera. So basically, we're going to take the target, we're going to take the thing that the camera is looking at, and just set it ahead. So first, let's get our controls ready. Serialized field, Pravat. We don't need the camera. We need the input action. Focus. Oh, whoa. My fingers do not want to do what I tell them to do. Okay. On enable. We're going to enable those. And I also need a reference to the target. I probably should... No, I should not have set it to this. That would not have worked. Because I still would need a reference to the player. I suppose I could just get the parent. No, we'll avoid all that nonsense. Let's see. Focus action. So I need to go back to this. Unity is going to reload the domain. Again. Hold on. I don't want to hold on. So we're going to add a binding That binding is going to be to the mouse. Where's the right button? Left, middle, radius, right button. And we're going to add an interaction to this for holding. Is that how you do it? Or is it press? I'm trying to remember exactly how. No, I think it is just hold. So we have a hold interaction here, and I may as well get the camera target, get a reference to that. Okay. So we have our target. So we should be able to, if action dot in progress is in progress. I assume that is what we want. Dot position equals transform dot forward times 5. Else target position equals transform position. Let's set that as a value. Private float focus distance. And we'll just set it to 5F as an initial value. Okay, cool. So I really should set up a proper action map by now and take all of these out of the update loop, but whoop, did I take a, nope, I did not. Okay, I'm good. Okay, we're good. I should set up a proper action map at this point. If I wanted this to be a professional project where it wasn't just something I'm building quick and tossing on itch as quickly as possible, I would. And the reason for that is the action map lets you take all of the player inputs, like button clicks, mouse movement, all that stuff, and turn them into events. So they only run when you actually tell it to run. So when I press the W key to move forward, it just runs the whatever action is on the W key when I press it, and then does nothing else until I let go, and then runs another event. So a thing only happens in your game twice, when you press and when you let go, and everything else is stuff that you have to program into it. Whereas the way I have it right now, it does a check every single frame. Are you pressing it? Are you pressing it? Are you pressing it? Are you pressing it? Are you pressing the button? 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 Which is not how you're supposed to do things. Doesn't matter as much for a small single-player game, but when you get to larger games with a lot more stuff going on, or when you get to multiplayer, it's important to watch your actions. So save that. We have that all attached. So this should be set. As long as I set up the input system correctly, this will work fine, but I do have a penchant for not doing that. Okay, so we have our character. If we hold down the right mouse button, we move forward. Whoa, that doesn't work good. That doesn't work good at all. 5 is way too much. 3. I want it to look like a little ahead of the character. Why is it moving so far? Not a fan of that. 1. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold the phone. Does this rotate my character? Is the player itself what is... Yes, the player itself is rotating. So why is it just going that way? Transform.forward. But I'm rotating my character, so the direction of the transform should be changing. Actually, target.position equals... What if we just set... Okay, plus equal to new vector 3. So the new vector 3 is the focus distance 0, 0. I think I did this wrong. I think the focus distance might need to be in the Z position, not the X position, but you know what? We are going to learn right now. We're going to find out the fun-tacular way by testing it and seeing what happens. Okay, and what the heck? Why are you flying off? Whoa, whoa, okay, that doesn't work at all. Let's try putting that there instead. Because I want its position to be ahead of the player. Nope, that doesn't work. Huh. It's on the player. Target.o. Local position. So if we set its local position to be ahead, that should work. That should be it. But it should be setting it to a... hold on. Plus equal to. So I'm taking the local position and constantly adding the focus distance to it. That is not how we want this to go. It's one of the great things about programming is that a single character can just absolutely throw off whatever you were trying to do. All right, try again. Look at that. It looks... Oh, that works perfectly. Yay! All right, we can set that to be a little bit higher. Let's try 3. And like I said, in a game that I'm not planning on just tossing out there and doing nothing with, Okay, this is a little much. But yeah, we have a functional little game now. Let's just check to make sure the knockback still works. Cool, destroyed that one. Get some ammo. Yeah, knocks him back. I can remove the... Yeah, I have some prints going on in there. Does this respawn? It did not yet. Okay, so it's been less than a minute. I need to find... Actually, I'm good. 22 is enough. Oh, shit. Okay, so now we're at the point where they're going to be spawning at 1 per second. So. Oh, God. Oh, God, God, got it. Got it. I died. I have failed to beat my own game, but that is okay. I know for a fact that the static value for the number of monoliths left in the game works now. Tested that earlier, so that's good. Let's get rid of the prints here for this knockback. Enemy knockback. Those are not necessary anymore. I don't believe there's any more in here. So, yeah, I think that's it for the features that I wanted to add. I do want to learn how to add 3D models with animations, because I have never done that before. Every single game I've done has just been bad computer art. But I would like to be able to add in, like, maybe a zombie and have it, like, shuffle around and chase the player down and just... But for now, yeah, it's just a static block. Speaking of static blocks... Hold on, I want to take my environment. See, that's just the basic environment. We're going to make all of that static, because I have not done that yet. And we're going to rebake the lighting. Let's see, the enemies... No, those can't be static, because those are going to be... Oh, wait a minute. No, hold on. Let's just go to the... Ammo refilled. No, not static. Bullets are not. Enemy blocker. Oh, enemy blockers, yes. Those are all going to be static. The false wall, also static. Solid wall, static. Spawn points are not. The temp audio players are not. Actually, I can make a subfolder for that. these in their script folder. I should probably start organizing these too. Just, yeah. And I need to come up with a better name. I've got 4 viewers right now. That's enough. That's a committee. What should I name this? Right now, I just have it called Scary Shooter Thing. I don't have a set name for it yet. I don't know. I'm not good with naming things. Okay, I am good with naming things, if I think about it. But, yeah. Right now, it's just Scary Shooter Thing. Let's see. And I also need to change the info for... 1920... 1080. Do not run in the background. Yeah, I don't want this to be a downloadable because people on itch do not play downloadables unless they are very high quality. From my personal experience, they're much more likely to play something if it plays in the browser. So I'm going to try to keep this to something that plays in the browser. Okay, most of this stuff is, I don't know, faster runtime. We do not want to allow unsafe code. Optimize the mesh data. Yes, please. Compression format, name file hashes, debug symbols. A lot of this stuff, I do not know what that means. So we're just going to skip that part. I don't need a cursor or an icon. I should probably do a cursor. Yeah, I probably should do a cursor. You know what? I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much... I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I forgot a thing. I forgot a thing. I forgot a thing. There's a thing that I forgot. Pause menu. We're going to put that in the game manager. Pause game scripts. And in... Oh, let's wait for it to reload. It's okay, Unity. You can do it. Take your time. And in the canvas, we're going to have a new panel, UI panel, and this is going to be called the pause menu. It's going to be black. We'll just have a bit of text in the upper portion of the screen that just says like game paused. X have that centered. Make life easy. And I need a button. Need 2 buttons. Button 1, this is going to be the unpause button. We're going to call that unpause. And then we're going to have a... We'll just duplicate it. Call that restart. And then duplicate again. Rename this to no quit button, because we're doing this as a... So I found this out the fun way. Exit buttons, quit buttons, application quit, whatever, doesn't work on WebGL games because the quit button is just hit the back button. Like it runs constantly. So, yeah. So yeah, we just need to unpause and restart. We'll just put those there and there. Change the color to something a little bit more pleasant, like kind of an off-white. A little less garish on the eyes. So how do we want these to run? I want to go to my game manager. Do I have it set to quit the game? Restart level on death, restart level on button press. Oh, okay. Yeah, we already have restart level on button press set up. So we just need another one of these. Hold on, let's close out the stats. Yep, take your time, reload. Pause menu. Restart level on button press. And that is going to be the restart button. Okay, so now we just need to set this up. Private serialized field, private input action. Pause game action. On enable, we will enable pause game action. And once again, we will do a check every frame. If pause game action dot was performed this frame. Actually, we'll make this public. Actually, no, we'll do the is paused. And then how do we want to handle pausing the game? I think there is just a way. No, I can't do it that. Okay. So the way I was thinking about doing it was have a set the timer for the game to 0. I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to set the game to paused and then go through. Do I have to go through each of my scripts? And there's only like 20 something scripts, so it's not that bad, but I need it. I needed a way to like give the player some kind of reprieve so that if they like have to pee and run away, or if they get a little too scared, because this is a super scary game, hence the name that I have so far. Let's see. Update. Pause game action was performed this frame. We set is paused. Oh, yeah, name. Change. And we're keeping it as public because I need it to be accessed elsewhere. So let's see. Spawner health. Oh, how am I going to stop the bullets? Because the bullets... Do I need to put them to sleep? I might need to set up an event, maybe. If it's paused, do this. If it's not paused, do that. Pausing a game is actually kind of a difficult thing. If we are paused, time.timescale equals 0. See, the problem is this doesn't work. This will not work because if I set the timescale to 0, then update will never run. I think. You know what? We will find out in a second. I have no idea if this will work. I have extraordinary doubts, though. Pause game. We're going to add a binding. The binding will be to the keyboard. I want the... Actually, we'll just listen for the escape key. Listen, escape key. No, oh, okay. Escape key leaves this, so we can't use that. Control, backspace, end, insert. Are these not in new? These are not in order. I'm looking for the escape key. Numpad, delete, insert, end, home, backspace. Okay, here we go. So you hit the escape key. It sets it to paused. Play. Okay. Okay. That's right. So all these things are still running. What the heck? Fixed delta time. Okay, so we've changed fixed delta time. Okay, so something's going on here that's wrong and not working the way we need it to. Let's turn off the pause menu and we'll look at that afterwards. What is going on here? Pause that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I messed up. I did the doo-doo. I did the bad doo-doo. I think it's 0.02. I may have messed up just a little bit. Hold on. Is there a... I think there's a menu here for... Yeah, there's time. Okay, fixed time stat. Okay, it's 0.02. You know what? We're not going to set this to a magic number. We're going to store those values. Oh, whoops. Accidentally removed that. Private floats. Timescale. Fixed timescale. Okay, so timescale. Before we set these to 0, when we pause it. Actually, you know what? Not even here. Not even here. We're going to set these in awake because we already know what those values are. And we don't want these to change at any point. So time, fixed time scale equals delta time, and time scale equals time.timescale. Okay. Time scale. Fixed time scale. There we go. So now there's no chance of any funny business going on. Invert that to reduce nesting. Okay. Beauty. I don't think we need this is paused anymore, though. Let's find out. Should work correctly now. Pause. Can't move, can't do nothing, unpause. Beauty, it's back to normal. Pause. Oh shit, that still works. Okay. So question, can I still shoot if it's paused? Okay. How? All right, so I do need this value here. This is paused value. Fire bullet. If pause game dot is paused, return. So we cannot fire bullets. That's the value of having that static value there. Actually, I should set this in awake just in case we leave the game early. Is paused equals false. So at the start of the game is not paused. Try it out again. Pause the game. Unpause the game. Pause. Unpause. How does bullet shooting actually work? It happens in the up... I am... So stuff in the update loop is still... The update loop is still running. But... Hold on. Is there a... Yeah, okay. So there might be some consequences to this. I'm just saying. When the game pauses... All right. Oh, yes. Something else I need to test. One, I need to make it so that we can't use the pushback when it's paused. Okay, so that's still usable. So I need to turn that off. And then let's do one quick test. I want to see what happens when I'm being hit by an enemy. Being hit. Pause. Okay, good. So it stops that. Good. What's left? Right, that pushback. Player knockback activator. If pause game is paused, we do nothing here. Save all that. Quick test, just to make sure it works. What was that? Paused. Okay, cool. Works as expected. Okay, that works, that works, that works. The spawner is based on... Hold on, I don't want spawner health. I want... Enemy AI, enemy knockback, focus camera. I'm going to take gunfire event and put that in bullet. Here we go. Spawn enemies. Okay. Timer plus equal to time dot delta time. So the timer is based on, you know what, I'm just gonna simplicity, just so I don't have to think about it. All right, so pausing the game now works. I'm going to get rid of... Yeah, we're going to activate the pause menu when we do pause the game. Let's see. Serialized field, private. No, we're not doing another input action map. This is a game object called the pause menu. On awake. Set active to false. Pause menu. So we're going to activate it. If we activate the pause menu, we're going to deactivate it if we deactivate the pause menu. Give it a moment. Not a fan of that. Variable pause menu has not been assigned. Should probably do that. Save. Play. I think I'm going to remove the unpause button. Restart just resets the game. What? Oh, I reset the game. And did not reset the timescale. Okay, so in the restart level on button press, maybe on disable. When you load a new scene, do these disable? I do not know. But that is an issue. So basically I have these two values for time. And when one is the regular time, one is the fixed time. And when the game starts, we set those values to whatever the game has pre-established. So 1 and 0.02. When we pause the game, we set those values to 0. When we when we restart the game, those values aren't reset. So I think we have it set so those values reset now. Hopefully. Okay, so we fire bullets. We pause the game. We restart. There we go. Pause. Restart. Yay, it fixed. Why is monolith set to 0? Why is it set to 0? Why is it at 0? Why is the monolith set to 0? The number of monoliths in the upper corner there, that's the goal of the game. That's the thing. That you're trying to destroy the monoliths. That's the whole point. So why is it set to 0 at the start? Is it set to 0 now? Hold on. Let's just take a look. What is it set to? It's set to 9. Okay. Now, when we restart, it's set to 0. That is a bug. I wanted to do like a little main menu thing where the game starts paused. And then we're just going to get rid of the unpause button. Or starts on a different scene, and when you hit load, it loads the new level. I don't even know if the game's going to work in WebGL yet, but my goal is to get this done in the next hour and a half and then get it uploaded sometime tonight to itch because I do not want to work on this after Christmas. I want to be all done in all... I want this to be done in its entirety so I don't have to think about it anymore when Christmas comes. So I'm not thinking about action maps and level design and all that happy bullshit. Monoliths. That value is set by display monoliths left. So on start, we update that value. Update spawners left. Now, on awake, that sets itself to... On awake, it sets itself to 0, and then they add themselves in on start. So there is no guarantee that all of the spawners will run their number of spawner script before that runs. So, I need to somehow have update spawners left run once after start. I suppose... Oh, no, here. How about we do this? We're going to make this public. No, that's not going to work. Wait, we have an event that runs that forces that to update. So what if we just... forced it to update. Where else does onSpawner destroyed run? Find usages. Display monoliths. So in spawner health, it's invoked. And in display monoliths left, it's used. And that's it. Okay, so those are the only uses for it. So I should probably, I'm not going to, but I should probably change the name of that. So that means we do not need this in the start function because they will update as they add themselves. Let's try this again. But yeah, my goal is to stream Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to noon. Yeah, there we go. Okay, displays 9. Now let's restart. Displays 9. Let's destroy one of them. Okay, now it says 8. Restart. Now it says 9. I fixed it. I made it good. Hello, graphic edit. I fixed a bug. I made it better. One more thing. One more piece to add. And then I'm going to say, this is done. This is all good. We're good to go. We're ready to ship. And by ship, I mean throw it on itch and maybe update it if someone finds a random bug somewhere. I want to add a start menu and then load the game after the player hits start. And that's it. I don't think I'm going to have anything on the start menu. It's just going to be blank, but just a black screen with the name of the game and a little bit of text on there. Get in your scripts folder, mister. So yeah, I think I'm just going to add a new scene. And we'll just have the menu there and then change to this scene when the game starts. Scenes, create. I very rarely create scenes, so. Main menu scene. Let's open that up. Ew. Light. We don't want light. No one likes light. We want color, and we want black. Maybe kind of a brownish, kind of zombie-ish color kind of scheme. And then we need text, title text. What the heck did I name this game? I named it like an hour ago. What did I name it? Player. Scary shooter thing. Honestly, I don't hate having all of the text kind of on the side of it. Before we do anything else, though, canvas, scale with screen size, and we're gonna thank you for the follow graphic edit. I just saw that. Thank you very much. Our reference resolution is going to be 1920 by 1080. We're gonna then take this and make it a bit bigger. Let's see, how about 72? We're going to increase the width a bit so that that can actually sit there. Bigger than 72. Let's go 100. Scary shooter thing. And we're going to take this and we're going to put this in like on the side here. No images. Not because I don't believe in images or I like a minimalist sort of feel to the starting menu of my game. It's just, I don't want to go get an image. I don't want to steal an image. I don't want to use AI to make one. I don't want to put that effort in for a game that I'm just... The whole point of this game, the whole reason why I am making this game is purely to test out doing game dev while live streaming. And it's good because I can talk to the viewers. I can talk to Graphic Edit and whoever else is watching. I don't have like a list of all of the viewers right now. I'm sure I could get that somewhere, but still kind of new to Twitch. But yeah, I want to see if I can do that and do this at the same time. Let's see. What else do I need to add? I need to add a button to actually start the game. Yes, a button. We're going to call this Game Start Button. And the Game Start button is going to be wider, tall. Oh, whoa, that's a little too tall. That's a little too tall. There we go. That's a little better. Take the text, and we're going to make it a bit bigger. Start game. Beauty, beauty. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Put that there. That's art. That is art. It's not art. It's pretty bad, but it's what we got. So now I just need to add a little object here that is going to hold the scripts to start the game. So start game on button press. And oh, before I add anything, to this. I need to check the restart thing to make sure that when it restarts the game, it doesn't go back to this. It just restarts the game from the top. So let's see. Restart level on death. Yeah, it gets the active scene build index. Good. Okay, never mind. Start game on button press. So we're going to get a reference to our button. That's a button. Not my buttons. Not my gumdrop buttons. We have our button. Our start game button. On enable. Start game button dot on click. We're going to add a listener. We're going to have a script that listens to that button. What do you have to say, Mr. Button? Void start game. Okay, so that's going to run. The game starts. And on disable, we're going to remove the, not remove all, yeah, remove all listeners. That works. Nah. All right, and this is going to load a level. So scene manager load scene 1. So we need to figure out which scene is scene number 1. There is no scene with the same index in Unity build settings. Just got to fix that. Go back to Unity and add our main scene. Let's see. B build profiles. Open scene list. Add open scenes. Can I reorganize these? Yes, I can. Okay, so the main menu scene is scene 0. That's going to be the one that starts when we start the game. And we're going to load the main scene when we hit the start game button. Once I add a reference to the start of the start game button, to the start game button on press script. Yes. Save that. Hit play. It should just have this scene open up. And when I hit start game, it starts us in our game. Yes. Open that doorway. We're just going to go through, start shooting some stuff. Oh, God. So it works. It functions. Does what we need it to do. Exit out, start again, and we'll hit the restart button just to test. Make sure everything functions as expected. Start the game. Okay, cool. Reset our bullet count. Go down to 27. 8 monoliths, 27 bullets. When I restart the game, does it reset? Yes, it does. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Good. Okay. So we have everything that our game needs to be a game. The only thing I have not added to it is any kind of volume controls. Hour and 20 minutes. People are messaging me, trying to ask me questions. Who is Alyssa's favorite has-been hotel character? I have no idea. I actually do have an idea. I think I know who her favorite has-been hotel character is, but unrelated to any of this. So let's get back to this. I think I'm just going to do this for 20 more minutes. And the last thing I'm going to do before saying goodbye for the day until... When is Christmas? Christmas is Wednesday. So Thursday. Until Thursday, I need to add volume. Volume. How do we do that? One was we open our main scene and the pause. I'm going to have this in the pause menu. Let's see. Environment, canvas, pause menu. Open that up. And we're just going to add a... I think I'm just going to be a single slider for the... Do you have Discord? I have Discord. I don't have like a personal community page set up or anything because I just started doing this last week. I'll set one up eventually. My viewers has gone from 0 over the past like 2 weeks-ish to suddenly 5. So if we keep a growing trend going, then yeah, I'll end up opening up something for social media, talking to people and stuff. Yeah. I don't word too good, so keep that in mind. Let's see. So what do we need to do? UI slider, right? Yes. Volume slider. Slider. And I need some text to say exactly what this is. So we'll create a bit of text here. Volume texts. Volume. And I'm going to put this in like the bottom corner. So we'll just create an empty object here. That's going to have anchors at X is going to be 0 and 0.2. Put that in that bottom corner there. Y is going to be 0 and 0.2. We're going to rename that to volume box. The slider is going to be how are we going to do this? 0 and 1, and is going to the You know what? We're not going to do volume box. Yeah, slider is going to be 300. No. 150. Why is it? Oh. Yeah. We're just going to set that to like 150, and we'll just move it over. I was thinking about doing like a whole bounding box thing, but we'll just have it in that corner there. And then the volume text, that's going to be also 150 across, and we'll just have that sit there. I'm pretty sure I have the canvas set up so that it scales with screen size. So, yeah. I probably should have fixed that a while ago. Oh, all the screen resolutions are going to be off. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna pretend we didn't do that. We're just gonna not touch that. We're gonna leave that alone and pretend that wasn't an issue. Okay, so the volume slider. Basically, I want to. Is there like a master volume setting in VFX? That's visual FX. Scene, script, services, shader graph. I don't think there is. I think I need to get all of my sound sources, get every system that creates a sound, which I think is just the player and the prefabs. So I don't think it's going to be too bad. Yeah, so we should be fine. We're just going to add a component to the game manager called volume control. And, oh, I can use player prefs for this. Okay, yeah, so serialized field, private, slider. Yes, slider. We're just going to have one flat volume controller. Update. Actually, in on enable, dot on value changed dot add listener. Okay, so now we're going to have a script called change volume. We're just going to create that method there. Float volume. And we'll just have a public static float. And we're going to have a get and a private set so that way the value of the volume is only set in here and nowhere else. Okay, so volume equals, just going to change that value. I can make this static, which makes sense, I guess. So we have our volume. We're setting it. So now I need to go through and find any reference to a, okay, so fire bullet, gunfire events. Here we go. Okay. Audio source dot volume equals volume control dot volume. Okay, cool. So we can just set our volume value everywhere where there is an audio source. So I need to go through, let's see, refill ammo has an audio source. Yes, it does. Beauty. Death sound. Destroy on timer. That doesn't have a sound effect. Player death. Nope, that just invokes something. Player health. I don't believe I have any sound effects attached to that. Restart level on death. No sound. Bake on load. What does that do? Oh, that just makes the nav mesh surface, so I don't have to... I had that set up just so I wouldn't have to rebake it every single time I made any kind of change to the level. I don't think I need that anymore, but I'm going to leave it in anyway. Enemy AI. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Enemy knockback. This does. No, it does not. Yeah. Oh, great. No, that's focus camera. Kill enemy on win. Movement. Pause the game. Player knockback activator. Right here. Restart level on button press. That does not have a sound on it. Rotate. Sound on impact. Gee, I wonder if that has a sound. It does. Oh, never mind. Never mind. That does the temp audio player. Spawn enemies. No sound with that. Spawner health. Here we go. Audio source there. Temp audio play is definitely going to need this. And win game. I don't have a sound effect for winning the game, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Both of these are going to go up here. I really should organize these scripts. If I plan on coming back to this game at some point and adding features to it or updating it, or if there's like a major bug, then yeah, one of the first things I'm going to do is start messing around with all these scripts. Okay, so let's attach the volume slider. What is the sound currently set to default? Volume is set to 1. Okay, so we're going to take our slider and we're going to start the value at 1. So it's all the way up. So just so we don't have to change anything. And then volume control. I want to save the volume that we're currently at. And when the game loads, load that volume. That's going to require a player pref, which is a player preference. So after on enable. Yeah, we'll actually run this here. Player prefs dot set float volume, and we're setting that value to volume. No, we're getting a float. Okay, so basically the way player prefs work is it's just a small piece of data, very basic, that you store using a string as the value for it. You should not use it to store any kind of save data, both because it's very simple and because it's just not what it's built for. It's mostly meant for like options. Like volume is a perfect use for it. If you have just very basic levels where it's just like, okay, or a very basic save system where you're just saving like what level they're at, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, then player prefs will work fine. But again, it's not what they're meant for. So we're just going to set our volume to that. And wait, wouldn't that be recursive or create an infinite loop? Yes, it would. Okay, we're not going to do it that way. Okay. So yeah, when the volume slider value changes, we're going to change the volume. So this is going to change that, which should just change the volume automatically, but just in case it doesn't, we'll just set that. And we also need it so that when you quit the game, we change the value here. So set float and then save it. Do you need to create set float, get float, delete all, get int, get string? Okay, so up here, when we first start the game, if we have the key volume, if we don't have the key volume, then return. So if we don't have a little piece of data called volume stored on our machine, then we do nothing. If we do have something called volume, then we do this. We get whatever that value is, and we set that. Would I want to set it initially? Yeah, I think I will. So we're going to... Okay, so if we have volume, we do that. Otherwise, we're going to set that to 1. And save that. Okay, so now we should be able to set our volume values, save it, get rid of it. Hold on, so it's now set to that. We're going to go to our main menu scene so that it loads properly. Save all that, hit play. Now, what should happen is I start the game. There is no sound. That is ungood. That is not great. Oh, hold on. Let's try playing. That's weird. Pause it. Put the volume down a bunch. Much quieter. Now, here comes the big hoopla. I'm going to stop playing the game. I'm going to start playing the game. Start the game. It's still quiet because it saved my volume. Restart. Restart. Exit. Play. That initial point, though, where the volume was 0, worries me, though. So if we have no volume, then set float of volume to 1, and set volume to 1. Okay. That should fix that. So is there anything else at all that I can think of to add to this? It's 11 o'clock. This is the time that I said I would be ending it, so I think I am going to. We have added a way to push your enemies away from you with a little timer. We've balanced it a little bit better so that the game is actually beatable, because I playtested this several times over the weekend and it was not. We have added a pause function. We've added volume. We've added a main menu. And we playtested it once or twice. I'm going to playtest this one more time at some point today or tomorrow before my day really starts. And yeah, then it's going on itch. And yeah, next time I run a stream, which will be probably the morning after Christmas, I will have this on itch. I'll share a link to it and we'll test it on there and see if the WebGL build has any issues. So yes, I will see you all later. Especially Graphic Edit. You're the only one to actually post anything in here that wasn't spam. So thank you for that. Okay, now do I just hit the stop button and it just stops, or?